Okay, everybody. Good morning again, and welcome to this 18 days of massive results marathon. And for some people, this is your first time of attending our morning school. For some of you, it is your second time. For some people, it is like the third or fourth time. And you're very, very much welcome. And I can guarantee you that this will be kind of a defining moment for many people. I am super excited about this particular 18 days as if I am the one to go through it per se, but I'm very, very excited about it. And the way you're excited about something and it sometimes affects your sleep. So yeah, like you're just excited for time to come, right? So that's why I'm excited about this particular stuff because I believe that some of the things that we are going to exchange together will definitely transform and stretch us to another dimension as far as living a peak performance life is concerned, as far as our careers are concerned, as far as our businesses are concerned. And the main aim of this particular 18 days, one of the main objectives, the main singular objective is to teach people how to build brand leadership and getting access to unlimited opportunities and becoming a real success in the 21st century. That is the real stuff. And after that, any other benefits can come because if you know these things, any other thing that you're looking for, as far as making money is concerned, as far as getting opportunities internationally, investors, all of that, you are able to do that. And trust me, what it means is just practice. That it means that you need to learn and do. There are things that you have to learn and do in your mind. There are things that you have to learn and do practically using the internet. There are things that you have to learn and just make sure you stretch yourself to another level. So you're welcome again to this session. And my belief is that after 18 days, you will not remain the same. You will be stretched and you're just going to become a better entrepreneur, a better young person, and so on. And of course, part of today is you're going to lay the foundation of a couple of things to prepare your mind for whatever is coming and for whatever is going to come throughout December to December, because if you're here, it means that you're part of the Peak Performance Academy. And this is not the only activity we organize. We have other activities I've planned for you guys until December ending, as far as this year is concerned, uh, um, for being members of the Peak Performance Academy. So you have often heard me preach or mention the saying that if you want to make it in Africa, you want to make it in Cameroon, you have to stop focusing just on what you have or on what you feel you can do, but you have to focus on giving and doing what is required. I am one of those who always say that if you're born in Africa, if you're born in Cameroon, life is leading you one knot. You're zero and life is leading one. If you're born in a poor family, life is leading you two knots. Life has two, you have zero. If you're born in a rural area and you don't have access to electricity, water, good education, internet, and so on, life is leading you three knots. If you are born in a family whereby you cannot have the ability to pay or people have access to quality education or learn a quality skill like a vocational skill, life is giving you four knots. You have zero as a person, life has four. Now, I'm bringing you to a point. If you are, and I always say that if you have entered 18, 20 and above, and you cannot use technology, you cannot use the digital space to a certain level, life is giving you five knots. Life has five, you have zero. Now, this is where I came with the analysis that your five is different for many people. For some of you, life may be leading you just one knot. So this is the reason why you cannot afford to focus on just doing what you have to do. You have to do what is required. You're not permitted to be average because you are not facing life the same way like somebody who is born in a better family in Douala, or somebody who's born in a better family in Lagos, or somebody who's born in a better family in Johannesburg, or somebody who's born in a better family in New York City. You are not. And that is why you cannot afford to be the same. You are not permitted to afford to do what you think you should do. You are not permitted to afford to do what you feel like doing. Your job is to do what is required. There's a difference between what is required and doing what you feel like doing. Because the society, because the universal marketplace has a requirement. So life is not going to give you things because life is going to pity at you. No. Life doesn't care where you're coming from. Life only cares about what you are able to bring to the table. And that is one of the main reasons for this 14 days program, 18 days program. To bring you to a level whereby you start doing what is required. See, it's not like I'm heartless. You see, I don't care whether you're from a poor family. I don't care whether you like to sleep. I don't care whether you're lazy. I don't care whatever pity self excuses you give yourself. That is your problem, and I don't care. Life doesn't care either. The only thing that life cares is, are you able to bring to the table what is required? So you see, you cannot be very comfortable and expect to do things because you feel like it, and expect to handle the same thing with people who are doing what is required. If life expects you to put 14 hours and above in your life and in your career every day, you have to. Like I always say, if somebody in London, somebody in US, somebody in Germany, somebody in any first world country is putting in 6 hours into their career, if you are from a third world country like Cameroon, like Nigeria, you're from a third world country like Gabon, Chad, whatever third world country, you need to do ×3 of whatever they're doing. Do you know that if you start a business in Cameroon in 2021 and somebody starts the same business in the US in 2021, what they're able to achieve in 8 months, it may take you at least 4 years to achieve? Because it's a different location. And don't come and start preaching to me that no, it's because they're in a better country. And so who cares? When you guys are put on the same playing field, nobody cares whether you're coming from a third world country or a third first world country. What is required of you is to do what is required. As simple as that. So if there's a mindset I want all of you to get after this, it's a mindset to stop making excuses and rise up and face your life. And that's why I'm going to teach very uncomfortable things. I'm going to teach things that you have 2 choices. That you rise up and do them and become the best, or you give excuses that is hard and never do it and remain average for the rest of your life. That is the only option you're going to have. You cannot be in the middle. You just have to choose one. And the winners of tomorrow are people who will scale their level of intelligence. The winners of tomorrow are people who raise to reskill and upskill, being the top leadership priority. You get a point? That is why the tomorrow society will start rewarding people on returns on intelligence, what business people can call returns on investment. Now, there's now what we're calling reward on intelligence, return on ideas, return on imagination. The world is for people like that. You're able to command a certain way of intelligence, a certain way of ideation, a certain way of imagining things and putting them to work. So winners of tomorrow will scale their level of intelligence, are those who can scale their level of intelligence, are those who are able to reskill and upskill consistently and mastering that top leadership priority, are those who are going to get any reward tomorrow are those who are going to master the art of returns on intelligence, returns on ideas, and returns on imagination. And if you are not able to have faith in your marketplace future as a person, as an individual, I need all of you to have faith in your own marketplace future. Everyone else has what I call the marketplace future. Your marketplace future is the kind of authority that you all are going to command individually as far as Africa, as far as Cameroon, and as far as the world is concerned. One time I was asking a PA community, presently at the moment, when it comes to your town where you're based right now, can they rate you among the top 5 in your industry, in your sector where you claim you're a professional? Can you be rated among the top 5? That is what I call your marketplace future. We all here as individuals have marketplace future. We all do. And trust me, the best marketplace future is not going to come to you just because you think you're beautiful or you're handsome or whatever. Your marketplace future will come to you because you do what is required. Your marketplace future in 2025, 2030, 2028, 2026, whatever year, that is a marketplace future. And the marketplace future, you have to earn it. You have to do what is required for you to earn that marketplace future. You see? So you have to have faith in your marketplace future. What I mean is a confident relationship in your own tomorrow, a confident relationship in your own future. By doing that, you start putting in what is required today, like being part of a PPA community and taking a 4 a.m. class in the next 18 days. That is what you should do. That is what you should do, because that is what is required for you to get to that level. It is your responsibility to redefine 3 key things from now henceforth. It is your responsibility to define 3 key things. You have to redefine how you create value. You have to redefine how you capture value. You have to redefine how you share value. And you have to redefine how you deliver value. That is what is required. There is no way that you're going to build brand leadership and command a certain level of authority in a certain sector, in your industry, in a certain location, if you don't master the art of creating a superior value. You capture that value, you capture value from different areas. You are able to share and deliver that value to the right people who understand your value and will excitedly consume your value. You have to do that. And you have to do that on the best standard. You don't have to do that on a Cameroonian standard. You don't have to do that by being very comfortable. You're just going to struggle. So you have to bypass that lifestyle where you are still competing on protecting outdated legacy in your life. You have to bypass. You have to bypass and move from a level of, I'm just doing digital things, but being digital. You have to bypass from just trying to be excellent, but being excellent. You have to move from just thinking, but doing. That is your job. So many of us are still struggling in our life because we are still focusing, we are still competing, or we are still trying every day to protect an outdated legacy. We are still trying to protect an outdated habit, an outdated lifestyle, outdated thinking that will not take you to where you're going to. You have to let it go. Because if you don't, you're just going to struggle as a person. And that is why for anybody to try from now henceforth, from this 2021 and above, for some of you who know me, know carefully, I have been researching about this decade, about the 10-year, this 10-year decade between 2021 and 2030 since 2018. I've been researching, writing, and making decisions. And some of the things that I started doing as a person, as a career person from 2020 to make sure that I win in these 10 years have started working and seeing results for myself. I don't know, I've studied some time with some people. These 10 years, between 2021 and 2030, this particular decade, any young person who is between 17 years and 28 years, this 10 years is the defining moment for you. If you miss it to do what is right, you will struggle after 2030. You will not catch up. You will struggle to catch up, but you will see what your mates are doing. You will have a where was I? The same thing like what is happening right now. The guys who were born between the 1980s, 1975s, and the 1980s and 85 and so on, they missed out on a lot of things. And now it is now they're still struggling to catch up with the real realities of life and opportunities. So you need to be careful and stop struggling of keeping old legacies that are no longer serving you, keeping old ideas and old lifestyles that are no longer serving you. You have to be very careful. So for anybody, entrepreneurs, listen to this carefully. If you run an institution or you're an individual, you're a career person, for anybody in that institution or a career to thrive in this particular dispensation, you must be able to prioritize three things. Number one, differences. Number two, what I call divergent thinking. And number three, diversity. The 3Ds of thriving in this particular age. You must be able to pay attention to various differences of opinions. You must be able not to think in a narrow way. You must practice divergent thinking. Breaking out and look at things in diverse areas, but I'm talking about superior thinking. You must be able to accompany, to operate in diversity. Because in diversity, a lot of innovation gets to happen. You get to learn a lot from different people. Because if you don't master the art of diversity, you're already 50% failure to actually become a global citizen. Because one of the conditions right now for you to become a global citizen is your ability for you to command authority when it comes to diversity, dealing with different set of people, understanding different cultures, different policies in different countries, and making good use of it as far as your career and business is concerned. See, because if you don't do that, you will either be a winner or a loser tomorrow. There will be winners and losers in the race to win in the future. There are only going to be two sets of people. Either you end up being a winner or you end up being a loser. There's not going to be a middle ground. We have passed the age of middle ground. We have passed the age like in Cameroon, like in the 1970s and 60s and so on. Anything you read in the university, you had a job. Anything you read, you had a job. You have passed that age. You have passed that age by as long as you can speak good grammar in standard 6, you are employed with a good job. That time is gone. It's either you're the best or you're a mediocre. It's either you're a winner or you're a loser. And therefore, with so many unknowns, how can you turn this diversity into your advantage? That is your job, for you to be able to turn diversity into your advantage. You have to do that. And I keep saying that now is not the time for anybody to adopt a wait and see strategy. Now it's not that time. In this decade, if you ever start practicing a wait and see, because I keep saying that hope is not a strategy. Hope is not a strategy. Wait and see is not part of the winning strategy. You have to be in the game. You have to be disrupting. You have to be proactive before you get what life has to offer you. You know, this is the age whereby intelligence just being book intelligence no longer plays. I mean, like those guys that in school used to be number 1, number 2, number 3, and all of that in school. It no longer, it doesn't play. Because you can just be book smart, but if you are not street smart, you are not marketplace smart, you're going to struggle. So there will be winners and losers in the race to win in the future. With so many unknowns, How can you turn that any adversity into advantage? Those are going to win. Now it's not the time to adopt a wait and see strategy. As agents of change, as peak performers, it is time for us leaders to rise up to rip up that old book, to rip up new old habits, rip up old lifestyle on leadership and start moving towards the age of disruption. So it is our responsibility that after these 18 days, our responsibility that don't enter 2021, 2022 when you have not broken any old assumptions. You need to break free from old assumptions about the world and discover better ways of scaling an agile, resilient, and sustainable future. We have to do that. We have to do that. And that's why you need to start having in mind. I'm not saying that difficulties are not going to come. They're going to come. They are going to so much come. But hey, the guys that win in this particular future we're talking about, which is the present and the tomorrow, these are people who understand that difficult circumstances are not there to wear me down, but difficult circumstances are there to challenge how you think and push you to start acting differently. I was telling somebody here yesterday that if you are going through any unrest, one of the mentees who are going through the mentorship package, I was telling one of them yesterday that there's something that he was saying that he's having unrest about. And I was telling him that yes, that unrest is permitted to happen. That unrest is permitted to happen. But that unrest is not permitted to make you worried or to push you into depression. No. Any unrest is a sign for you to be alert. It's a sign for you to be on your toes and know that this is what is expected of me to bring to the table as far as the marketplace is concerned and as far as this future that I desire is concerned. So it is the right time to challenge our limits and not limit our challenges. Now is the time to challenge our limits and not limit our challenges. So as you face these next days, I want you to have this right mindset, this right belief system about yourself. And I want you to believe in the beauty of your own dreams. Believe in whatever that you think that you can handle because it is possible. All you need to do is strategize well, plan well, and put in the required work. And you guys know our belief here in the Peak Performance Academy. Our belief here is that if you have to fail at the end of your life, fail on your own terms. That's the belief. You see, I want to, if you're at the end of the year, at the end of your life, you end up a failure, but I want you to be a proud failure. I want you to fail knowing that, I woke up every day bringing in my A game. I failed on my own terms. I failed while having sleepless nights. I failed while making sure that I'm doing the right things. I failed while making sure that I'm keeping the right friends. I failed while making sure that I'm studying to become better, to upskill and reskill. I failed knowing that I studied, I tried my best, my utmost best. I failed knowing that I did not sit down to complain about Cameroon government and what they are not doing. I failed knowing that I did not allow my family, whatever they did for me or did not do, control me. I failed knowing that I brought in my game every single day. I failed knowing that I woke up early at 4 a.m. every day to produce the result I desire to make. I failed knowing that I read every book I could read to get the skills I could gain, attend all the trainings I could attend, and I could upskill myself and become the best at my game. I failed knowing that I wake up and I went out every morning to hustle and cause change and become a significant part of the society. I failed knowing that I challenged the status quo. I challenged old beliefs. I challenged old ways of doing things. I failed knowing that I failed on my terms. I did not fail by letting sleep control me, by sleeping for 9 hours or for 10 hours every day. I did not fail knowing that television was controlling me. I was watching television 4 or 5 hours a day. I did not fail allowing social media to control me. I did not fail hanging out with the wrong friends in beer parlors and drinking and gossiping and doing whatever that is being done. But I failed on my own terms. And then at the end, if at all you're going to fail, you're going to look failure eyeball to eyeball and say, failure, look, you think I failed? But you know what? I failed on my own terms. I failed waking up every morning for the last 10 years to become the best. But you know what? I failed knowing that I played my best. That is what it means for you to become a proud failure. The biggest regret for anybody here will be that at the end of days, you're a failure and you know why you failed. Now that will be very big challenge for you. So you guys got to rise, like seriously just rise. And it's my belief, as the Bible says, and the Bible clearly states, that's one of my favorite scriptures in the Bible. I love it because it's one of the biggest spiritual success principles as far as the Bible is concerned. So if you're doing your best every day, while as the earth remaineth, while as seed time and harvest time exist, while there's still cold, there's still heat, while there's still rainy season and there's still dry season, while there's still day and there's still night. Therefore, seed time shall never cease and harvest time shall never cease. So what does that mean? So it means that every sleepless night that you put in, you're going to harvest whatever you're looking for. You're going to harvest it. You're going to get it. If you plant the right seed every day, you're going to have it. Whatever you're looking for is going to manifest to you guys. Okay. So as we proceed for the next couple of days, I want us to clearly look at a couple of